Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another episode of Fix Your Fits, the series that takes the mistakes of others and helps you become a better Capsuleer. And today, it's all about haulers, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go over haulers. We're going to look at some big ones. We're going to try to get the wide variety of fits for you today. Tech 1s, Tech 2s. Let's see about it. And we've already got some decent ones. These are recent as of today. One in Jitta, one in Null Sec with a Squall. I'm in. Let's see. We got this first Iteron here, chat. Let's see how this guy looks. We've got was tornadoed off grid, ladies and gentlemen, in Jitta. How far was he? He was off the Stargate, 20 km off the Stargate. To me means that he was actually slow boating. That's not autopilot range. You warp in. So when you come out of the Stargate, you normally are in at 16K. This means to me that he was probably AFK and was like a lined out. Maybe that's what happened. This is 3.6 billion ISK in a Iteron. And I gotta tell you, most of this fit looks okay, except the lows. Let's see how the ganker made off with his tornado. Oh, is that a crap? Chat, that is a... My man's... Okay, what dropped? We'll just put it that way, because I'm not going to filter it and like destroy my freaking machine. 1.5 billion ISK dropped. Yo. Just a nice little toot for you, my friend. That is bananas. You could bump this. Snap a ship in half, yes. The mistake is flying this much in an Iteron. Let's see if we can fix this fit. Let's do it, chat. Let's see about if we can fix this fit. Okay. So the first mistake that we will notice with this fit is that you're flying billions of ISK in an Iteron Mark IV. Okay. We're not going to go over the charges. Don't look at the price here because it's just full of stuff. The first thing that this guy's doing wrong is he's flying billions of ISK inside of an Iteron. Now we do have the micro warp drive cloak trick. We do have an improved cloak. Let's look at this stuff. Insufficient charges. That's not for us. Ladies and gentlemen, this person, let's start from the top. Flying this much loot in an Iteron is a mistake because it's a Tech 1 hauling ship and it is made of paper comparatively. The Iteron is the biggest trap ship because you can fit a lot of cargo in it and you feel safe, but you're just not. You are not. The gankers want you to fly this ship and the tornado literally wants you to fly the tornado with a full rack of these guns. Let's see this actually. Give me this ship. Let me view some market details and then let me show you exactly what I mean, chat. Let me get the tornado. And let's simulate this ship. And then let's get a full rack. And I don't have gun skills. Oh, I do. JK. This guy is using rank 1 guns. Okay. Ready? Come on. Oh, is that it? We can't do any more? Come on now. There's another empty high slot. What the heck? That's weird. Everybody see what just happened, chat? I don't know what just happened, dude. He's got Tech 1 guns. He's using them probably with faction ammo. Is that what's on the kill mail? Whatever. Let's just use Tech 1 guns. I don't even know if this is the right ammo. Chat. An alpha with not the correct ammo is going to do 3,000 HP, okay? I'm not even optimizing this. I don't even know the right one. Overheating this is going to do just under 3K with this alpha strike. My man has only 4,300 EHP. So you know this tornado with one 1,000, two 1,000, this Iteron's dead. That's it. My man got obliterated. So that's why you do not fly an Iteron with this much stuff because it's just not built to haul billions of ISK. If you're going to have billions of ISK, you don't want to use the Iteron, use other stuff. The second thing that was the mistake is these expanded cargo holds. We talk about this a lot, that you do not want to run expanded cargo holds on these ships. You can haul a bunch for 30K. The gankers literally want you to do this. Instead, you want to use bulkheads. And instead of bringing up fixing all these individually, we are going to use this as our base hauler. Here we go, chat. This is the actual Iteron hauler you want to do. We've got 20,000 EHP. We've got the micro. We don't use the micro cloak drive trick. You can fit that here, but we're gonna talk about it in just a sec. We use the afterburner because with one pulse of the afterburner, we get our align time down to 8 seconds comparatively to 14, 13 seconds. We have one warp core stab just because if this tornado is running a scram, you can still leave. The tornado's not going to be able to 1 cycle, 2 cycle you. It's not enough EHP. You're right, Nell, but it might be enough to survive this kind of tornado. Instead of it being 1 cycle, it's going to be 3 or 4 cycles, and you might be able to warp off comparatively. We've already said the number 1 mistake is hauling billions of ISK. You just fill up this one. You can get tens of millions of ISK instead of billions of ISK. You know, start there. This is the fit you want to use. It's cheap. It's only 20 million ISK. You can even Tech 2 Bulkhead. I don't recommend that. You can if you want. Let's keep looking at what their fit should be. My fixed fit will be in the description for you. It takes 2 clicks. It's totally free. Go check out those and call it a day. We also have cargo hold optimizations in the rigs. Same deal. This reduces your EHP and increases your amount of health. Not the best thing. The biggest mistake on this fit, you gotta look right here, ladies and gentlemen. Undersized prop mod. He's trying to micro cloak trick, micro warp drive cloak trick. It doesn't work if it's undersized. It does not work. How this cloak trick works is it has to do with your warp speed and the mass of your ship and your like velocity. And if you have an undersized prop mod, it doesn't work. Make sure if you're trying to micro warp drive cloak trick, you look for this yellow triangle right here. That one thing alone just saved a lot of your lives. Sound off in chat. Have you ever even noticed this little triangle right here? This is very important to look for, chat, okay? What the micro warp drive cloak trick is this roughly speaking. The first thing you're gonna do, let's assume you've just jumped through a gate. You're going to click on the gate that you're trying to warp to. You're gonna press warp. You're going to immediately press cloak plus micro warp drive. Okay, you're gonna do them both at like the same time. I'm trying with my penmanship here, chat, okay? When the micro warp drive is done, when it's done, you decloak, you X out your cloak, you then press warp. I know, not the best penmanship. You then press warp. You warp, press them together, undo your cloak, warp. It takes some practice. We show this off in some of our other videos, okay? This is important. It doesn't work with an undersized prop module. How to know what does undersized mean? We might have some new players. This is a really good question. This is a micro warp drive for frigates. You have plenty of CPU, plenty of power grid left. You don't need to do this. You look for this guy right here. You don't have to memorize what the numbers are. You just look for this button right here, okay? So how to fix this? Well, let's put on an MWD that actually fits the ship, that is of level. So looks like we might not be able to, chat, with his current fit. See, chat, so we can't fit a 50 MN because he has other stuff on that's stopping it from being fit. So if can I even do it? If I just strip this, look at this. The Iteron does not have the CPU and power grid with literally nothing else on to be able to do it. Is it like a hull restriction thing? Let's see it. Can I fit a 50 MN? No. A cruiser level 50 MN micro warp drive does not fit on the Iteron at all. You cannot micro warp drive cloak trick on the Iteron. Can't do it. Look at that. Fly my fit instead. Literally not able to happen. Dead before he undocked. Actually, use my fit instead. That's not the one. Let's do this one. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Use my afterburner fit instead. This afterburner, how it works, you one pulse the afterburner after you warp, and this lets you have your align time down to 8 seconds. You will not be able to insta warp out of cloak, but you have a lot more EHP. You can't hold as much, you're not supposed to. You can survive if you're getting one ship scrammed, and he probably was, and your align time goes down to sub 8 instead of sub 13. Consider this fit fixed. Yowzer. That's why you don't fit cargo holds. Correct. So the number one thing here, you don't fly a billion ISK in an Iteron. You just don't. You train into Tech 2 haulers. I've said it before, every single pilot in New Eden needs to have Tech 2 haulers under their belts. Let's keep going. This is the first Squall we've ever looked at. Let's see if we can fix this fit. He's hauling 2 billion ISK. We've got a lot of PI. There it is, chat. Whoa, didn't get the loot. Rip in power. Didn't get it. Where is the loot fairy said no, chat. Loot fairy done said no. They did. Can I click this, please? Click that. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, fine. Loot Fairy said now magmatic gas did not drop. This is a Squall. We are in Nullsec. This Squall is built to pick up this magmatic gas. I do not recommend a Squall in Nullsec. I recommend a much bigger ship like the Deluge or the Torrent, especially when you're hauling 2 billion ISK of magmatic gas. What the heck, chat? Let's see if we can fix this Fidge. Where was he? It looks like he was off of a planet. He might have been at the Skyhook, and he got hit by a hurricane and some mobs. I know he was on the Skyhook because these are the mobs that are off of the Skyhook. Okay. And then a Frat hurricane came in and one pulsed him. A similar issue. Let's see if we can fix this fit. Let's see about it, chat. Okay. We've never done a Squall before. I'm actually very excited to do this. So let's see about this fit, chat. Let's come over here. All right, we got an improved cloak. Very interesting. LSI. Honestly, the shields ain't not a terrible fit. Not terrible. We do have low frictions in the rigs, but we're just over 6 seconds on the align. Okay. Warp Core Stab 1. Lot of tank. Large shield extender. We still have plenty of room on the CPU and power grid. We do have the cloak. Is it undersized? No, not an undersized. So we can do the micro warp drive cloak trick. You are correct. It is just diminishing returns. Good eye, Commander. Good eye. Good eye. This is actually a decent fit. So what happened? What went wrong? And how can you optimize this fit? Well, he died to a hurricane, which is very similar to the tornado. He got alpha off grid by Tech 2 autocannon guns. He did 8,000 damage. Boom, boom, done. His EHP is 30k. How is this possible, chat? How could he has 28,000 EHP, but only 8,000 damage did. EHP is deceptive. Lies. Deception. You know, from Rogue One. Wife and I just got done watching Rogue One. Incredible movie. Look at his shield. He only has 6,000 shield. So he did just over enough to get through his shield and punctured the rest of this and kept going. Was he AFK? Probably. Maybe. Entirely possible. This is what I think happened. He does, his align time is a little bit screwy. Let's see if we can mess with his align time, chat, okay? Here it is. I want you to look right here. Okay. When I take off these rigs, we are now with one eye stab, we are sub 8. With a Tech 2, we are sub 7. Let's check Tech 1. We're still sub 7. We don't need these low friction nozzle joints. We're already sub 7. Okay. Maybe his shield hardeners weren't on. Fair. Fair enough. We don't necessarily need to be cap stable, y'all. We don't necessarily need that because you're only going to activate this when you're tanking mobs. You're right about that, but we don't necessarily need it. So we don't need these other low frictions in the rigs because how align time works is you just want to be sub the second. You want to be sub the server tick. So once you're below the server tick, the rest of this does not matter. So here's the question. If we take off this eye stab, so we do need the eye stab to be able to be below stuff. So what I think we need for this is we do need the eye stab and we need the one low friction. What can we put in here to help with this? 3 multi-spectrums, I can tell you, is a bit much. Let's see if we can fit these other things instead. From my experience, the Squall can potentially fit multiple large shield extenders if we go to compact route. So no power grid. Pause. Let me cook. Let me cook. We're going to rigs, chat. We're going to rigs. Can we get some power grid back by getting some good looking, where is it? Freaking engineering power grid rigs. Can we fit some? Is it this one? Ancillary current router, ancillary current router. Look at that. We have double large regoliths coming in. Now, can we fit a Tech 2 version of this? Because you're in low sec and you want to secure your stuff and just have one of them. We can. You see how I'm doing this? This is how you fit ships. You keep trying, and try it out. So now I do. Ooh, we didn't have us on. We got to be sure about that. No need. All that rigs, micro warp drive crick, hyperspatial is the way. We do have the micro warp drive cloak trick, which I actually agree with. We'll talk about that in just a sec. So we now have 31k EHP. Now we're in low sec, chat. We're in low sec. We should not be fitting for more tank. Right? What should we be fitting for? This ship is not going to go to gate. So we're probably not going to have a bubble. So we don't necessarily want that. So what do you always see me do? Where are our jammers? Where's the burst jammer? And you can use the tech 2. Boop. We need to get a nice burst jammer on there. Now, do we need this power grid? No, we don't. So what we can do in the rigs is we can slap on a single. We can get a single tech 1. I believe it's not a processor overclock. Is it capacitor control circuit? I think it's semiconductor memory cell. Is that it? That's capacitor capacity. That's it. Because it's not named capacitor. This one module, 30 seconds only. We don't want it to go out of cap. Maybe 2 of these. And then we can do 4 minutes of this. You don't need a lot. I might even think you only need 1 of this. Because you're not typically going to be using this. This is only if you get ganked. So here's what I would consider. Okay. Here's what I would consider. You're in nullsec. What is this guy trying to do? You're trying to survive and you want utility. Okay, we don't really care about cap, correct? The cap stable with the shields doesn't really matter. We don't just want to, we want to not run out of 1 pulse with this. So, because you're going to do both. Okay, so I actually am going to tell you, let's see what the tech 2s look like. Just for the sake of argument. Okay. It's a bit funky. But let's see what the tech 2s look like. Do we have a fit? 110. The juice ain't worth the squeeze there, chat. You don't want to do tech 2s. Just tech 1s is enough. We gain 10 seconds with tech 2, so it's not worth it, okay? What we see here is this guy is going to try to micro warp drive cloak trick in his Squall. That makes sense to me. If that's the case, we don't care about a line. Correct? Don't care about it. Align time is not something we need to fit for. Because we're going to be cloak trick, micro warp drive every single time. Correct. Yes. Okay. What else can we fit in the lows to help with this ship? And in the rigs. Let's think about this. Our EHP is still not great, honestly. So we could fit for a maybe an EM. We have a large here. So maybe in the rigs, we just do a shield extender. Maybe. We just do a core field defense extender. Pushes us up to 25. Not crazy, but still good. You know what we could do, chat? Because we want to push for... Oh, yes. Here it is. We survive if we can get away from these nerds. Is it the particle dispersion projector? Yes, it is. Here it is. A particle dispersion projector is going to increase the range of your ECM burst from 18 to 22. Look at that. This module counters close range scrams. You want them to be as far out as possible, and then if someone has the 1 point, the disrupt, that's what the warp core stab also fixes. Also, this needs to not be tech 1. We need to be fitting tech 2s to get the better speed on this. Okay, tech 2 damage control. What else do we got here? We need one more thing in the lows. Shift, click, and drag. Exactly. What do we do here? In the lows, we have a micro warp drive cloak trick. What are we doing in the lows to help with this, chat? A bulkhead? Is it a bulkhead? Just a boom? Give me some more. We have a damage control. Is it a bulkhead, chat? That increases our EHP by only less than 1k. Might not be. We are shield focused. Can we do a power diagnostic system? Okay, to increase our goodies. Power diagnostic is going to increase our power grid just a wee bit. And then we don't necessarily need the compact one. We can go for tech 2 large. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Okay, 24. We don't want the eye stab because we're not going for any align time. Okay. Might save us on the rigs. These rigs are capacitor focused. Here's why they're capacitor focused. Because we're going to be doing the micro warp drive cloak trick at the same time that we get the burst jammer going. Because we're fitting this ship like we're getting caught. Okay? Like we're getting caught. That is true. We're not using a medium shield extender. We're using a large tech 2. We still want the compact's MWD because, quite frankly, that's just, what you want to be doing. We can use a cold gas, I think, has better... I think the cold gas has better sig radius, and we have the space for it. Because if you have space, don't use the compact, use the cold gas one to get the better space for it. I think this looks pretty good. Another option is you could put a, we actually don't need the power diagnostic, so just as a sake of argument, we could also put a capacitor-focused rig in the low slot here to make us deplete in a minute 30. Don't love that. A minute. We'll see about it. The rigs are meant for your capacitor because there's really nothing else to fit in the mids. We could put a cap battery in the mids, but yeah, it just feels weird because then we lose off on the large shield extender. We lose off on the multi-spectrum. Look at that. We lose off on this. It's just not a good idea to not have any more tank. We go down to sub 20. Yeah, not very good. This low slot, I'm not really sure about. The high slot, figure out what you want to fit. You can't do an interdiction nullifier with the burst jammer. You swap out whichever one you need based on what's happening. If we could put some Nosses in, yeah, we could get some Nosses in there. There it is. Yes, we can. Let's get some scoped ones in there. Just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's go, baby. Little bit of Nosses in there. And look, bye-bye our like capacitor problems. If there's something in our range, then you can Nos it up. There it is. You could, a cap recharger is typically for like a ganking ship. This is not a ganking ship. The Nosses are literally at the end. These are not priorities. These are more of a meme. I do not necessarily recommend this be what you want to do. Consider this fit fixed. As always, with a low sec, null sec fit, any dangerous area, you don't want to have a one size fit all. Oops, let's do it's this one, chat. We're going to name it null sec danger. You do not want to have a one size fit all fit. You're always going to be testing out fits, seeing what counters stuff. I think this fit would have helped counter a Hurricane alpha him off grid with mid-range autocannons. I think that would have been okay. Cruise missiles, there it is. But look, if we have long range, can I be direct with you? You want to know why this guy died? He wasn't flying a Deluge. He wasn't flying a Torrent. The Deluge is the better ship. If you see all of a sudden a Hurricane uncloaks, oops, I hit the cloak, I hit the warp, I'm outie. If he's got, although in this case, the Torrent would have been better because the Torrent is not going to be able to break him because the Torrent we were showing you gets almost 200k EHP. These fits will be in the description. Consider those fits fixed. Incredible stuff, y'all. Great episode today. Focusing around haulers. If you want the full fixture fit playlist, that'll be right here. If you want to sub for the best Eve guides, that's right here. We'll see you in the next video. Like the vid, chat. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much.